Hello. This presentation is called The Role of Technology in Strategy Execution. My name is Tor Inge Vasshus, and I'm going to take you through some slides today and give you my view of what technology and how technology could play an important role. So I just would like to start with one PowerPoint slide of our company. So Corporator is a global software company focusing on business management side of the business. We are in 18 locations around the world and work with SAP, Microsoft, Click, and the big management consulting companies. We are also listed in Gartner's Magic Quadrant for strategic corporate performance management solutions. Yes, that was all I would like to say about our company. You can find more about our company on our website, corporator.com. If you look at how technology and technology solutions have kind of evolved from 2000, I myself created a balance scorecard back in the end of the 90s. And in the end of the 90s, what was characterizing the solutions then was that IT was in control. You know, it was the systems was developed by IT, it was run by IT, it was heavily, I would say, coding, and it was very much focusing on reporting. And this was the time of the big data warehouses. If you could just gather all the data in a data warehouse, this could do magic for you. This could do wonder for you. I think business was patient. You know, business waited for 10, 15 years, and some are still waiting for results from these big data warehouses. So what I think happened is that it switched from the one side, IT in control, over to business making an uproar and saying, you know, we are so fed up, we are so tired of waiting for you guys. So instead they started to say, if you can just give me my data, the business analyst and the business people, the controllers and so on, they said, you know, I have my financial data. I'm actually going to buy myself a software and probably a modern BI tool where I can do my analytics and do parts of my reporting. So then they started to say, okay, just give me a space where I can drop my data, data lakes, and give me a modern BI tool. They started to buy this outside the IT budgets directly. But these solutions, they were very specific on a domain. It could be finance, did financial data, quality, did quality data, production, did production data. And this was what I call analyst in control. It was kind of the clever people that could actually operate these kind of tools, you know. But what I think is kind of going from the one edge, you know, on the one side, IT, over and flip on the complete other side with, you know, very narrow focus on a specific domain. I think there is a middle way here that is the much better way. And this is what Corporator represent. We represent a paradigm shift in the way business applications, business management applications are built and used. And let me just show you the founding principles of Corporator, because Corporator was founded on some, principles, and that was the main one was business in control. So let me show you something about the philosophy behind Corporator and how we build the software. I'm calling this the 7 abilities, because companies might be disabled to implement strategy or implement other business domains, or they can be able. So this is what I call the 7 abilities. That was the founding principles of Corporator, and I believe that these things are the things you need to look at when you are selecting a technology or a solution for your business. So let me just go step by step through these 7 abilities. So the first one is configurability. There is a nice video on our website. You can go in and take a look at it, how the platform, the corporate or business management platform works.
Today's business problems are often solved with some sort of technology support, often through a business application. And these applications are often custom-made to fit your unique business problem. Developing custom applications entails high cost, long development cycles, and inflexibility. And in most cases, they don't solve the real business problem. This was true until we created the Corporator Business Management Platform. After researching for 15 years, we have decoded business applications and made a platform for easy configuration of business applications that solves your business problems. The platform is built up of common processes that you will find in most business applications, the 3 main processes, 10 sub-processes, and 250 business objects representing functionality used within a business context, which we call the business framework or business model. This is the Business Management Platform. This is Business Decoded. And with Business Decoded, you can start building up your business applications. It's easy and it's fun. Simply drag and drop business objects and you have your own application. Corporator is a unique business management platform and is listed in Gartner's Magic Quadrant for Strategic Corporate Performance Management Suites. Corporator, your smart choice for configuring your business applications when business outcomes matter.
And this is also what Gartner says, that Corporator offers a flexible business modeling platform configurable by business user. And they say this is a big or a key differentiator from other solutions. And it also supports a dynamic business environment. The second ability that I would like to show you a short video about is processability. I think a lot of the tools today, they focus on one part of the process. But now I'm going to show you a video of what we mean by processability.
All business problems today use tools and technology in order to achieve desired business outcome. Today's solutions are narrow and focus only on one part of the process chain, often failing to deliver any business outcomes. A business intelligence tool focuses on analyzing data, but that alone does not give you business outcomes. A planning tool focuses on planning, but that alone does not give you business outcomes. Research shows that you need 3 business components to achieve business outcome. You need to analyze, plan, and execute. We bring to you the world's first business management platform, which combines these 3 processes and ensures business outcome. An analytics platform, a planning platform, an execution platform. Contact us today to see the Corporator Business Management Platform in action. Corporator, when business outcomes matter.
The next ability I would like to point out is this business ability. And I think this is probably what people are striving and having most problem to implement in these kind of solution, because all business problems are kind of linked to a business model. This could be for strategy execution, it could be a balanced scorecard model, it could be McKinsey 7S, it could be management by objective, it could be business model canvas or whatever, you know, SWOT analysis, etc. And I think it's important that the tool, the technology, the solution has kind of support for multiple frameworks, and that you actually are able to do this without coding. So when we talk about business ability in Corporator, we actually talk about the possibility with the business management platform to have strategy as the glue and let strategy be the kind of glue that binds together all these functional, very often silos, with the finance, portfolio, governance, risk, compliance, quality, sales, customer, HR, operations. And let business intelligence be, more a tool that should be contextualized, that should actually support the business. The business intelligence tool is not the business. You need a business orchestration tool, a business management platform like Corporator, and let that be the modeling tool where you can build, configure your applications, supported with a business intelligence tool. So that's the business ability, and you can easily say, create a KPI and link it up to the objective, and show me the strategy map. And if a vendor starts to kind of fumble with words and cannot show you, walk away, because you will experience a difficult time to try to put in a business application into an analytics or a reporting tool. Next ability, I would like to start with a hypothetical question, or take an anecdote. And this is just to prepare for the next ability. Why isn't there a standard shoe size? Well, it's obvious. I'm going to show you a foot that reminded me about my grandmother. She has used very narrow shoes. And the answer here is because there is no standard foot. That's why there is no standard shoe size. And this is also true when it comes to technology. Everybody say, well, why are you so special? But your company is so special. But we treat and we acknowledge that every business is unique, and we say shit happens, or whether or not we like it, this might happen. What is on the picture here? So this happens in all organizations. It's like, let me just give you some examples. Well, this is true for all products that we produce, except for this, because this is special, or we should consolidate all financial numbers, including the subsidiary here, but not this subsidiary, because that is kind of under another kind of domain, or should not be a part of this KPI. Or don't bring these projects in because they are specially approved and should not go into this kind of performance measure, or whatever. And very often, technology is built on that we give you the column, rows and tables, and you have to put in the business into that kind of fixed structure. But and this kind of makes business compromise a lot. Business don't want to do this. They say, but this is not how it is. And then there is a quarrel and there is an argument. But you need to do that here, because the system is built like this. This is the process. This is how it works. And then you need to kind of compromise. So what we say is, don't compromise on anything. If you compromise, people in your organization would actually start doubting the system. They would get frustrated. They will get irritated. So instead of people have to adjust and companies have to adjust to how the system is built or meant to be used, we say it's the system that has to adapt to the unique business environment and the unique treatment of KPIs and metrics and business processes and structures, etc. So this is very important. I think based on my experience, probably 70-80% of all development costs in these kind of projects are actually just handling exceptions. The standard stuff is easy to handle, but the adaptability and changes and the exceptions, that's what's driving most of these implementation projects. And it's also making it a hassle to operate in the future. So in Corporator, how we have done this and what is the secret about Corporator is that we have built a strong modeling platform where you can actually, as a business user, define the object, the models, use your we say words and your way of categorizing things. We also have a template, so when you add a KPI, these are the objects that goes on these certain types of KPIs, but on other certain types of KPIs, you have other setups. So you can build templates. And then we have this master model where you can actually create one KPI or one objective and link it out to business. And then you can, in the live model, actually override and do these kind of tweaks in order to fit specifically these kind of deviations. So that's what we call with adaptability. I can't, put enough emphasis on how important this is. If you have been through this, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been through it, spend some time on actually making sure that the system is adaptable and can handle change, because this is coming so fast in this global business environment where things are happening so fast. You also need adaptability in order to succeed. The next ability you need is deployability. And the way a Corporator business management platform works is you have the platform and you do configuration. This can be done manually, the configuration, or you can have a system actually feeding the business management system, the scorecard, or whatever application you build. Or you can also use Excel as a template, and have Excel actually creating the application for you. So I'm going to show you a quick video that will actually focus on this, how we can use this to an Excel template to fill and build a system. So in this short video, Eric will show you how this works with actually having Excel build the model for you.
The way it works is like this. A customer can start with an empty workspace and begin by downloading an Excel file. This Excel file can contain its own logic. And Excel is so commonly used by business users that it offers a very high level of flexibility. But in this, we start with maybe modeling the organizational structure, entering things like perspectives, objectives, KPIs, and then the related properties of these KPIs. And then we save the file. Then we simply upload it, and then we deploy the model. Once the model has been imported, customers can control their own branding. And in this example, we're adding report covers and logos and so on, or the consulting partner can do this. And they can begin working with the data. And these are all wired up already with charts and graphs and so on, so they're ready to go. And even the reports are pre-built. And in this example, we open up a report and everything is already pre-built and pre-connected, ready to go. This is just a brief introduction, but I think it illustrates the possibility for rapid deployment in a way that can be done by business users with no training at all. If you can fill out an Excel form, you can build a model, and you can begin working with the system. Thank you.
So what I like with this short video from Eric is actually how easy it is to actually let Excel be the file where you actually can fill out new things and have the system actually read from Excel and use that as the tool. And this is what business people are used to use. They know Excel, they know how to fill out, and they can actually build the whole structure based on that. Let me move on to the next ability, which is reusability. And I think this can actually disrupt the consulting space, because you hire a management consultant, a strategy consultant, or whatever, and they come in and they do a lot of the same thing in every company they are hired to. So when I talk about reusability, it's more towards the consultants that serves you, that they can do a much more efficient process in your company. And what we offer consulting companies is the business management platform. And on the business management platform, they can actually create their own business models. This could be a balanced scorecard model. It could be a specific model that they are kind of feeling strong about. And they can build their methodology, how to use it. They can build all the processes into the platform, and also add in the best practices that they have seen on, could be target setting, could be ways of running management meetings, documenting, highlighting things, alerting things, or whatever. And what they can do is actually document the IP. They can resell the IP and actually bring more value to you as a customer. So this is just a good way for the consulting companies actually to do this, to build that in. The last ability is kind of look at the capability of the software. So what I would like to do is just to show some of the capabilities, because that's where you see the strength of this. So I'm going to show you some client solutions. And when I say client solution, this is with fake data, it's with fake numbers, and it doesn't represent our customers' business at all. Some of this is based on public data that you can find on the internet. Others are just made up things. So take a look. So what we do a lot of is actually this cascading. We have been very successful in strategy and strategy execution. And what you will see now is a solution demo that we have built on for Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and how they should transform the country with something they call the Vision 2030 and the National Transformation Plan. So here you see how Saudi Aramco, how the National Transformation Plan is done, how it's cascaded down to different entities, and how they are performing. Here you see Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Health, etc. And if you go into a ministry, it could be Ministry of Energy, you see the relevant objectives that they are responsible for, or at least have a stake in. And you can see the initiatives that they are doing, the KPIs and objectives, how this is done. You can also see how the different entities are doing it. In a one view, it's a benchmarking dashboard here. Here you see the KPI, the targets, this year's performance, and how they are ranked against other regions that they would like to compare themselves against. And you can go in on KPI, you can find the regional benchmark, international benchmark, and actually see how they are performing. Here is more initiatives and how initiative plays a role in executing the National Transformation Plan. And then we can go to an entity. So this is an example from Saudi Aramco that we have made. All publicly available information, and here you see how they are doing it against the objectives, and how the indicators, the targets, the initiatives, and progress on this is. When we work with corporations, this is another one from Middle East. This is, I don't know much about this because I don't know Arabic, but this is from the Dubai Governance Excellence Model. So this is actually how we have connected the excellence model into the strategic framework. So this is more like an EFQM kind of twist, but it's improved, enhanced, and it's also very much linked up to the overall strategy. And this is what I mean with the strategy being the glue to align quality excellence framework, to align financial, to align project portfolio management, etc. So this is just an example of how you can have a business management platform used for all kind of frameworks and link it up in one tool, one solution like Corporator. This is another solution that we have built. You can go in on this website, minosloskole.no, and this is actually the City of Oslo and the school division. So they have 84,000 students, 200 schools. They run a very nice quality program, and they work on transparency, so everybody can go in and look at the school, how it's performing. This is just translated, so it's actually in Norwegian, but this is translated for the purpose. You can go in there, you can see how the different schools are doing in different subjects, and if you would like to send your son or daughter to a school that is good in mathematics, physics, etc., because you want them to become engineer, you can easily go in and just navigate here and say, oh, this school looks good. I'm actually sending my kid to this school. So this is just some sample screenshots from this. This is Dubai Courts. What I like about Dubai Courts is when you enter into the Dubai Court, you can see Corporator on the screen there. It's in the reception area, and you can see the performance, customer service, public dashboard, how they actually are doing this. It goes all the way and show how they are performing, actually all the way down to judge level. And they do reporting, they integrate with a lot of solutions, and they do benchmarking, international benchmarking. They also have implemented strategy maps, etc. I just like this. Then this is an example of a special risk model, so here you can actually see this is a barrier management solution, specialized risk model. Here you have bowtie diagrams on how the technical integrity of the platform is. And here you can actually navigate into, for example, the process area, and you can see the process management part here and how the status is in the process, and also the barrier functions there. Probably it doesn't say too much to you, but this just shows an example of how you can orchestrate within Corporator. You can take it also down to personal scorecards, performance appraisal. Today there is a popular philosophy kind of coming up called OKRs, Objectives and Key Results, and this is also what you can use Corporator for. This is another example of how you can put up initiatives, etc. At the end, I would like to just show how a BI tool can be combined into Corporator. So let's say you have a high-level kind of strategy map. Here you see the objectives, you see measures, the targets, and here I can click on one of the objectives, achieve fast ground turnaround. So there I come in, I can read about the objective, I can see the assessment, and this is important that I can actually connect the assessment evaluations to these kind of things. If you see here, you can actually see that you are navigating in a business model. So here, corporate airlines, you were on operating efficiency, and here you go further down and you go further down. So if I mouse over here, you will actually see where I am in the model. So here I'm actually in an airline company on ground time in minutes. and I can see average time on ground. They have a target at 30 minutes. That's all they should be on ground. Otherwise, they should be up in the air flying, because that's how they make money. So if you see here, I'm on a KPI. I can go in here, look at the performance data. I can see the development over time. I can see some benchmarking, how the different regions is doing. I can see an assessment. I can click on the report here and actually see and get this out in a document format, with the text, with the performance graphic, etc. Or I can click here on detail view and actually see the value driver trees and the breakup of why is on ground time as high. And then I can go in as a data analyst, and this is special people that are really kind of given this task to analyze and get insight, and they have statistical knowledge, what is significant, what is kind of average, we say standard deviations and so on. So here I can click on data discovery, and this is where you will find, and the BI people will actually find, wow, yeah, this is true. So here you can do the discovery, you can drag and drop and do all your analytics, and find out which airline, which city, which other specific dates where we are longer, other specific airports, etc. And when you have done this, you can put up initiatives and say, I need to do something here. I need to do something with the quality management, on-ground cycle time optimization, and start actually building a project here. So on-time cycle optimization, you see we need to do something with the unload passenger, the cleaning crew on board, offload baggage, etc. And here you can put this in and say, when should it start, and actually assign this to others. Another important aspect of strategy execution could be risk management. So I'm just going to show you on ground time risk, and here you see what can actually make the plan be longer than expected. It could be late personnel, it could be weather, it could be aircraft equipment error, etc. This is just an example of how things can be tied together. And at the end, I would like to just summarize with a question that I started with in this presentation about technology for strategy execution. Does it have a role? Yes, definitely yes. Technology can have a role if it's enabling you, if it's not disabling you, but it's actually giving you the ability to orchestrate a strategy, tell a story, of course. This is the minimum. If it can create an alignment from top to bottom, that you can actually cascade your strategy, definitely. I think another important thing that the system should be able to do is to actually create commitment, where you can actually agree on the priorities. What should we prioritize first, second, etc. And these systems also should drive actions. And it should also communicate, clarify strategy. So there is a verbal component here as well that should be supported. And it should also have support for track the progress of your execution and also drive this. So you need to have an execution engine as well supporting you. This is what we have in Incorporator. And it should also be inspiring and not any hassle. So this is what I had for today. Please feel free to reach out to us, contact us. We are more than happy to assist you in showing, demoing, and modeling your business. Thank you.